Hi, hola, bonjour, konnichiwa, aloha, wherever it is that you are coming from, and welcome to our first Mustang Monday. My name is Sarah Schmidt. I've been a Mustang spouse for quite some time. Let's just say that I'm very well seasoned at this. This week's question is, what would you tell your younger self about being a Mustang spouse? I would tell myself to be patient and be kind, that coming into a new wardroom is like starting the first day of school or a brand new PCS, and it can be scary and intimidating. So remain calm. If you have your questions, write them out or rehearse them, and then ask your department heads. They have some years of experience by then. If you can, ask your EXO or CO spouses. They are great educational resources, and they really are there to help you. Don't be scared to ask. If you are scared and you are shy, I would encourage you to go ask the CMC spouse. While they're not part of your wardroom, they do understand that there's a transition, and they are part of the triad, and they will be able to help ask and facilitate a conversation that you might be worried to have. Outside of that, just enjoy the experience. Go to the outings, participate. You really do get what you put into an activity. If you go in with a positive mindset, the chances are you're probably going to have a positive experience, and vice versa. Really, just continue to grow, ask questions, encourage your spouse to participate, and know that you are doing this together. Please continue to watch for some advice submitted by other fellow Mustang spouses, and be sure to check in on CORE next week for the next edition of Mustang Monday. Have a great
Hello, and welcome to the second edition of Mustang Monday. My name is Mariella Dills, and I have been a Mustang spouse for the past 7 years. This week's question is about financial items to consider when transitioning from the enlisted to the Mustang community. My tip is about mess bills. Mustangs will start to receive their full BAS, their basic allowance for substance, in their paycheck, and any meal they eat on board the ship, they will have to pay back directly to the command. When underway, the Mustang must pay for 3 meals a day when they are underway. However, when you're in port, a good tip is to save some money and bring some lunch with you. We hope you stay tuned for more Mustang Monday, and we'll see you next week.
Hello and welcome to our third Mustang Monday. My name is Brad Nelson and I've been a Mustang spouse for 3 years now. This question is for male Mustang spouses such as myself. What are the differences and challenges faced by male Mustang spouses, and how can we face those challenges? One of the challenges that male spouses and male Mustang spouses can face can be the lack of support within the command families and the surrounding community. We're a minority with vastly different backgrounds and do sometimes feel like outsiders. My personal experience to combat this challenge, I've taken a very active role in the community. In other words, I put the spouse in military spouse. Volunteering where I can, participating in command events, participating in my command's OSC. Those are all great ways to kind of build my network. On the surface, we can be very different, but the military life is that common thread that connects us with all the other families. In addition, there's some great male spouse support groups on social media that allow us to connect with each other as well. All of this is going to help build our tribe that's going to get us through the tough times of the military, but also share in the good times. And with that, we have some more advice to share with you today. And don't forget to join us next week for our final Mustang Monday. Have a great
Hello, and welcome to your final Mustang Monday. My name is Neary, and I have been a Mustang spouse for about 2.5 years now. Today, I'm going to provide you with the top tips that we've collected from other Mustang spouses to help make sure that we set you off on the right path on your new Navy journey, right? It's so exciting. So the first tip that I would like to share with you is budgeting is key. There are going to be a lot of financial changes coming your way when your sailor becomes a Mustang, right? So the first thing you might notice is there's going to be a change in their pay. Now for many sailors, that change is going to go up, right? So that's a nice bonus. But in some cases, the change in pay might go down depending on where they were, what their rank was beforehand. So that is something to keep in mind, that when you are budgeting for this new promotion, this new change, that you realize that it can go up or down and you can adjust your budget accordingly. Another change you might see is for it's for uniform costs, right? There's going to be a whole new slew of uniforms for your sailor now that they are a Mustang. So you need to keep in mind that you will need to budget for all of the new uniforms, from tops, bottoms, pins, formal suits, all that jazz, all that fun stuff. So keep that in mind. Another thing that you'll see is mess bills, right? So when they go out and they're deploying, they're gonna have to pay for the food on the ship. So you'll need to be budgeting for their mess bills when they are deployed. You'll also need to be mindful of wardroom dues, right? So when your sailor is on a ship or at their command, they're gonna be paying dues to the wardroom. And so what that does is the wardroom collects these dues and it helps to fund activities, dining outs, all that fun stuff that they get to do. So it helps return to the wardroom for, outings and events and things for them to do to make them a stronger team, if you will. So those are just some items that you might see that might affect your budgeting. So things to definitely keep in mind for the next couple months or whenever your sailor is officially becoming a Mustang. The second tip is to get involved, or don't. It's totally up to you. So this is your Navy journey, your family's journey through Navy life, right? So if you would like to get involved, there's a number of opportunities for you out there. You can join your command's FRG. You don't have to be on the board. Maybe you just attend the meetings and help them plan events, help them plan the homecoming. You can get involved with local officer spouse clubs, right? There are tons of them everywhere. So you can get involved with those. You can get involved and go to command functions or not. It's entirely up to you. Some people thrive and love to be involved in that and get immersed in the full Navy family journey, and others don't. And that is entirely up to you. And it is okay if that is not your cup of tea. Totally fine, friends. But it is an option, and it is a great way to get to know other military spouses in your area and kind of get, if it's a new duty station, kind of get the hang of a new duty station for you. The third tip that we have for you is to communicate with your sailor. healthy communication is important in any relationship, whether it's a military relationship or not, with your spouse, with your kids, with your parents, with friends. You want to keep the lines of communication open. Your sailor's going to be going through a lot of changes, right? There's going to be a lot of new things happening. If they're deploying, their op tempo is going to might be crazy, right? New training schedules, maybe they're training or studying to get a new warfare pin. All of these different things may be happening in the first duty station, the first go around for everyone, right? So you want to make sure you keep the lines of communication open so you know how you can best support your sailor and how your sailor knows the best way that they can support you and your family during this transition period into this new role. The fourth and final tip is your spouse is your number one resource, right? It's great, it's fantastic, and we love that you have reached out to us for Mustang Spouse help. You may have reached out to friends and family, but your spouse should be your number one resource, right? Because they have the direct link to like detailers when you're asking about new orders. They have the direct link to other Mustangs, other officers in the wardroom who can kind of give them tips and tricks on how to navigate everything that's happening, all of the changes, because they've done it before, right? So your spouse is your number one resource. They should be able to help you navigate just about anything, right? And that really is all that I've got for you today. We want to thank you so much for joining us for these Mustang Mondays in March. We hope that we have been able to help you on this Navy journey, on this Mustang Spouse journey. We genuinely hope that we have been providing wonderful resources for you, and we just want to say thank you. So thank you. I hope that you guys have a beautiful day.